Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Regional Ambassador Sarah Wong welcoming you to tonight's Sunday Night Leadership Training webinar. You guys are in for a treat tonight as we've got a very special presenter from Perth, Australia. So, sorry, I've got a cold, so I kind of don't sound like myself, but bear with me. So this dynamic individual is a full-time mother of two, and she's only been in the direct sales industry for 1 year, but she has definitely made waves in her old health and wellness company. Once she found out about GWT, she immediately took action, and the momentum has snowballed for her team as well. She became a Diplomat Challenge winner in her first 10 days, and then went on to becoming an Ambassador Challenge winner in just 28 days, winning up to $22,000 in commissions and products, becoming Australia's first ambassador. In 4 months, she and her team has launched 242 business partners in 10 different countries, and her BDM has generated over $700,000 in sales. I had the pleasure to meet this dynamic individual and some of her teammates at the Forensic Networker training this past July, and their energy is so inspiring. This fire starter will be training tonight on how having a well-composed 2-minute story and proper edification will help your business grow. And she will share with us what she and her team did to experience the success that they've had so far in a brand new market. Please welcome Ambassador Challenge winner Stacey Renata. Stacey, do we have you on the call tonight?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. What a wonderful introduction.
Well, can't wait to learn from you. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. And hello to everybody around the globe. I want to get straight into this. So let's get started straight away. I'm so excited to share a 2-minute story and testimony on edification with you guys. So let's get rolling. With a 2-minute story, the highest income earners in direct sales are the best storytellers. You must learn to tell your 2-minute story well and as often as you can. Your story, it should be powerful. Why? Because it creates curiosity. It creates interest for the prospect to ask even more questions about what your business is, So you've got to just have a really, really powerful story. So your 2-minute story is all about telling the prospect about yourself. I mentioned, your prospect, well, actually I didn't mention it, but your prospect will, instantly like and trust you. If you're telling it from the heart, your prospect will resonate with either your story or they might know somebody that resonates with your story. And when you're honest and real in your story, you're more than likely to gain their trust even more so. So start sharing your story. It's important. So now your 2-minute story is not a story of you verbally vomiting your business all over them. That's not it at all. Your story is to attract and create an interest so that they're intrigued and they ask you more questions. So let's get started on the first one here. So, your story is very important to your team and our prospects because it shares your reasons why you are building your GWT business. Again, your story will also help you to build further like and trust with your prospects and your team members. So, your 2-minute story consists of the following components. Number 1, when you started the business, all right? So when did you start the business? So how many days, how many months, how many years you've been in the business? See, me personally, I tell people I've been in the business for, it's been exactly 140 days, and their face changes, honestly. They change because they're looking at me like, hang on, gee, you're accurate. How do you 140 days? And you know, it's the look in their face when I say 140 days. I know that they're trying to calculate in their head exactly how many months. You know, for me, I love accuracy. So I do this. I tell them exactly how many days because it shows them how important my business is to me. It shows them how I'm committed and how confident and sure I am about my business. So, you know, if you've been in the business for, you know, just a little while, that's okay. You want to say, be truthful, you know. Tell your prospects, you know, I've been in the business for just a week, but you know what? You can share a story of what your experience has been in that short amount of time. Now, you know, the prospect, when somebody has a story that has been in the company for a longer period of time, say many years, well, you know, the prospect is going to automatically go, wow, you know, they've got a lot of knowledge, they've been in the industry, they should know the ins and outs, and they do, right? So always starting off with when you started in your business. And number 2, why? Now, we all have reasons why we joined GWT. So your why is so important. Your why should be so powerful, it makes you cry. You know, and it's your why that keeps your burning desire to stay focused in your business. Now, I could go on and express my why to you, but I don't want to. I don't want to cry. I'm an emotional person, so I definitely don't want to cry. But you know, it is that burning desire that keeps me focused. It keeps me driving. It's just the driving force behind me doing everything that I do. So, you know, now if you haven't established your why, you need to find it, because if you're telling your prospects any old story, they're not going to buy it, nor will they believe you. They'll think that you're not committed or take your business seriously. So establish that why. Now, to get you started with establishing your why, here's an example. So this is just an example, you know, that I was just for me, just in regards to this webinar, I just wanted to put something that might be able to trigger something off for you to get started in your why. So an example that you could say in your story could be, my job restricts me from doing the things I really want in life. It keeps me away from my family. I work crap hours and crap pay, and I'm sick to death living from paycheck to paycheck, you know? So what I used specific words in there to, you know, intrigue that the prospect. You know, when I have a very colorful language, and for me, I use certain words in that so it piques the prospect's interest and goes, hang on, okay, they're really passionate about why they're doing this business if they're using words like this. So your why is important. Establish one if you haven't already done so. Now, if you haven't, you know, utilize your My5, utilize your uplines to be able to help guide you and support you in how they can really, really dig deep in your why to get that 2-minute story happening for you, okay? And number 3, who introduced you to the business? Now, a lot of my family here down under and in New Zealand, you know, most of you know the reasons. Most of you know who introduced me, but for those around the world, you know, for me, I actually say in my 2-minute story, my amazing friend and mentor, Ronan Trifon, introduced me to the business. He's been in the industry for 25 years and has had huge success. He supports me and our whole team around the globe. I give him so much credit for my success. Now, you know, just in those short, you know, in that short spiel there, you know, I edify Ronan briefly in my 2-minute story. Why? Because it piques the prospect's interest and they become curious. Now, If it was anyone else, you want to edify. I mean, this is just me personally, and I'm just my opinion. I think it's really, really important that you add a little bit more than just, oh, it was just my friend. It was just my friend Joe that introduced me to the business. I mean, that doesn't really sound appealing. It doesn't. It's not very exciting. I mean, if you're not excited about who introduced you to the business, they're definitely not going to get excited. So get excited on who introduced you. And again, for me, I always edify briefly about Ronan, because I think, if it wasn't for him introducing me into this business, I wouldn't be having the amount of success that I'm having right now, with his unconditional support and the rest of our My Five. So that's what you do when you're introducing, who introduced you into the business when you're sharing your 2-minute story. Now, number 4, product testimonials are important as well. Number 1 being when, and 2, why, 3, who, and number 4, products. So product testimonials are important. You see, I've come from a previous MLM business in the health and wellbeing industry now, but fortunately for us here in Global Wealth Trade, we don't have products that help you lose weight or make you look 100 years younger. Look, our products are visual and they're instant gratification. So, we're emotional humans. We're emotional beings, and we all have, we have an emotional product. So what that really means is when we see what we like, we buy it. So what I'm basically saying here is be the product of the product. You've got to be the product of the product. You have to wear it because, it speaks for itself. So while you're giving your first part of your 2-minute story to your wonderful prospect, you might want to blind your prospect in the eye by flashing your fairy timepiece, or perhaps you could offer them your fairy shield before you do so. So absolutely be the product of the product, and love what you wear. You've got to be passionate about what your products are, because we have so many really cool product. We've got the best product line. I swear to God, I never was a person that loved the bling and the bags and the heels, and but because I get paid to wear them, I am wearing everything. And as much as my feet hurts and my red fairy pumps, I will wear them because I get paid to wear them. And if it's appealing to those that are that love red fairy pumps, well then, got to wear them. So that's your product testimonial is very important. Just wear it and be the product of the product and be passionate about it. Now, number 5, business testimonials. Now, you can share how much you've earned, or you can share with your prospects the size of your team. Or you can tell them how much you've earned, or tell them the size of your team, or the total sales volume in your team. If for me, I never discuss income, because I think the growth of the team is more important to my 2-minute story. Having so much growth in such a short amount of time really piques people's interest rather than how much I'm making, because then usually when I explain to them, hey, I've been able to, we've down here in Australia and New Zealand and across 13 other countries, we've actually we've launched over 300 LCs, and generally they don't even ask how much money I've earned. But if you've got an amazing story about your income and you're wanting to share that, absolutely go ahead and do so. Don't falsify it though. Don't tell lies, and be honest. I mean, for me, I think honesty is one of the most important things next to gratitude. So you want to, don't lie about it, but if you're unsure, utilize the other 2 points: the size of your team or the total sales volume in your team. Now, if you don't know how to calculate the group volume that is sitting in your back office currently, what you want to do is put it into your My5 and ask them exactly that question. How do I calculate the sales volume in your team? And I know that our amazing My5s and your amazing My5s, whoever that may be, will gladly assist you and show you what the conversion is to sales volume, right? Now, if you're new to the business and you don't have a story just yet, you're allowed to borrow my story. You're allowed to borrow Leo's story. You're allowed to borrow Sherry's story. You're allowed to borrow Renee's story and Rez's story. You get the drift, right? So you can borrow stories. Their stories are real and their stories are true. Now, for me, I mean, my example is, whenever I'm going to quickly touch base so you have an example of how you can say it. So whenever I'm giving my testimonial or my 2-minute story, I always say in it, our team has grown to 300 people across 13 countries in 140 days. It's very short, precise, accurate, and it's short and sweet. So daily for us down under, our team is rapidly growing on an average of 5 to 6 new VDMs being launched in a day. So, I mean, for me, again, accuracy is what I love. So I always check to make sure exactly how many people we actually have in the team so that, I'm being truthful, I'm being honest to the prospect or to the person receiving my story. Now, remember, in regards to all of this, you have to remember it's all, creating your 2-minute story is about creating the curiosity for the prospect to ask more questions. That's it. More questions they ask, the better it is for us to show them the business. Again, I'm going to touch base back on the verbal vomiting. We don't want to go in there gun-ho. The prospect has a bit of interest, and then you completely verbal vomit all over them about your business. They're going to get scared. They're either going to get scared, they're going to get put off, they're not going to buy it, they're going to think that you're crazy, they're going to think a whole lot of things. Keep it short and sweet and simple. Just keep it short and sweet, all right? So create the curiosity for the prospect to ask more questions. Awesome! Yay! So this is one of my favorite parts. I'm a big lover of edification. I at first, when I first started in the business, it was scary and it was daunting, and I felt silly, and but what I did learn over especially the first 30 days of being in the business, what I learned is that I learned to perfect it. The more and more that I did edification for any one of my My5s, I got better at it, and I started actually memorizing certain words in their edification that would stay in my mind, and I knew exactly how I was going to say it the next time, and then the next time, and the next time. So it just rolls off the end of your tongue. So get excited when you're about to edify, because if you're excited, your prospect is excited. Now, look, talking about excitement, I mean, for me, I can get a little too excited at times, and I can fumble my words. So we want to make sure that we are very clear in the way that we speak, and that we are, if you're too excited, you do sometimes tend to fumble over your words. And that's okay, because, as long as we are learning, and as long as we are preparing ourselves and memorizing and continuously, taking action by doing this on a regular basis, it becomes second nature. So, get excited, but not too excited you fumble your words. Because why? Your words are really, really important. All right. So if you haven't got the hang of it yet, contact your My5 to help you with this. The more you do it, the easier it will get. So, number one, why is it important to edify? For me, when introducing your upline to your prospect, it's important because, you have to edify them correctly, so the prospect knows who they're talking to. You want to show your respect to your upline, because the prospect will respect them as well. And if you don't edify your upline correctly, it will simply kill your business. And number two, inform your upline in advance. So this is pretty straightforward. We want to make sure we give our amazing uplines enough notice for any three-way calls happening, because it's pretty logical, they might be busy. So it's such a wonderful support system that we have 5 amazing people that can help out, and everybody still has a life. Everybody still has a life, and everybody still needs to do what they normally do in their house, to maintain their house and go to work or whatever. We want to make sure that we give our uplines the right amount of support, right amount of notice, so that we can schedule the call-in, all right? Sorry, excuse me. And number 3, so prepare the upline about your prospect and the topic. Why? Because it prepares the upline in advance. Pretty straightforward there. So I wanted to add a little bit to that. So, if you've got a prospect that you've already built a like and trust with, step number 1, and step number 2, you've sent them the link, and they're ready to talk to to have a three-way with your upline. What you want to do is put it into your My5, say, hello, my wonderful My5, I have an amazing prospect who is interested in the business. Now, I have shown her the Live Your Tour, your Live Your Dreams tour, and I would love to get you guys on a phone call to, either for an introduction, to answer questions, and so on and so forth, right? So very, very simple. Use your manners as well. I'm a big manners person, so could I please have some kind, lovely, beautiful person, maybe Sherry's out, to jump on a three-way call with me, that's pretty much exactly how you do number 3. Prepare the upline about your prospect and the topic. And number 4, introduce your upline to your prospect, and introduce your prospect to your upline. Now, do it in this order. I do it. Why do I do it? Because it says to do it. I'm a follower, and I duplicate what the system and what the processes are. So if it's telling me introduce them, I introduce the prospect, the upline first, and then the prospect. I know it sends a little bit of shivers down their spines, especially when they first meet them, first meet our upline. So get used to introducing your upline to the prospect first. And number 5, give your upline a lead-in. So, when you're on the call and, you've done your introduction, maybe at the final stage, after you've introduced your prospects, maybe giving them a lead-in like, oh, you know, my prospect had a few questions for you, and one of her questions is da 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 da, you know, etc. It could be, you know, after you've introduced the prospect to the upline, you could say, you know what, Leo, can I get you, you know, you've had amazing success in GWT. I would love it if you could share your wonderful story with Sophie, your prospect, you know. So or, you know, if your prospect has an objection or questions, again, you can lead your upline into it, and you know what you do after that, and this is the most important part as well, and I haven't got that on the slide, but you know, after you've led your upline into the conversation, you want to put, for me, I'm always putting my phone on mute. And when I put my phone on mute, I also turn my video off. Why? Because I don't want my prospect to be, you know, distracted from me doing anything in the background. I want her or him to have direct eye contact with our amazing upline and be completely, you know, in awe, or yeah, awe is the word that came to my mind, but you want them to get all of the information from the person who has the most experience, you know, which is your upline. So, and also, you know, after you put if you're new to the business, you know, what I did in my first 30 days is I put them on mute and I turned my video off, but I grabbed my phone and I put it on voice memo. I recorded every single, you know, three-way call that I did in my first 30 days with Ronan, Renee, you know, Lior, you know, I recorded it. Why? Because it was the fastest way for me to learn. So that's heading into another topic, but that's what I do in my 3 ways. And so just finishing it off here, now this is what edification is all about, and this is how it's conducted. So remember again, I'm going to, it's a quick overview. So number 1, from the top to the bottom, number 1 through to 5, make sure that you go through that when you're edifying your upline, and if you need any help whatsoever, please contact your upline, go through your My5 channel to help you get trained in how to give a proper edification. So remember, poor edification will simply kill your business. All right, so that is my story in regards to the 2-minute testimonial, or 2-minute story and testimonial, and providing proper edification. You know, they're very, very vital pieces of the puzzle for us to, you know, share with our prospects. You know, for me, I'm going to be talking about now the success that I've had in the market that we've had. We've been able to open up here in Australia and New Zealand, and all the 13 countries that we've tapped into, which is amazing, which is absolutely amazing. You know, for us down under, you know, majority of us, quite a lot of us, you know, we came from a previous MLM, and you know, what we learned was great, and what we did was, you know, what we could do with our skills, they were definitely transferable, but you know, for us, because this is a new company, we needed to learn the new process. We needed learn the new tools and systems and stuff like that. But you know, I'm going to get straight into it because I think it's really important that everybody on the line and all around the globe hears what has happened in the last in the last 4 months of opening up the market. I mean, for me, I'm not going to take credit for that because that's Ronan Trifon, Ambassador Ronan Trifon. He, he brought GWT to the Australian market, and he has done an amazing job by sharing this gift with so many great people around Australia. And I'm fortunate enough to be one of those people that have helped him and the company get to the billion by sharing this and launching this, launching VDMs throughout the whole of the Australasia, So I'm going to get right into it. Now, I've got here number one reason. There are actually 4 reasons why we went from 0 to 300 LCs in 140 days. There is 4 reasons, and I'm going to be completely real with you. We started with the strongest foundation crew. We started this market here, especially in Perth. We were a part of MLM, and we were a part of the direct sales, just in a completely different, that was health and well-being. This is luxury branding. So we had an understanding of what we needed to do when we came into this business. Now, when I'm talking about foundation, I think it's really important that everyone knows that in order for a structure to remain strong and tall and high and bulletproof, and you need these vital people. You need really thick pillars in your team in order for you to be able to create massive success. So, I got to give a massive credits to, and I've got to acknowledge them. It's credit and acknowledgement to Tanya and Ambassadors Tanya and Katrina, diplomats Charlotte, Tony, and Cherie, and Aroha, and Brooke. I'm going to say this again. We're a part of another company. We had the knowledge, so we knew what to do. And you know what? One thing we're grateful for is how we learned to establish our why. So we knew exactly what we wanted at the time when we started. We just didn't have the right, this was before GWT, we just didn't have the right vehicle. So coming into GWT was a breeze for us because we had a bulletproof, 10-foot tall, unbreakable and unshakable why. Nobody could get through that why, and joining and partnering ourselves with GWT, it solidified where we are heading, and where we are heading, it's going to keep us focused, and we're going to help many other luxury consultants to come on board in the very near future. Number 2, so belief. So, for us, we believe in the company, and, we also believe in the industry. But what's the variable in, in belief in your business is yourself. Now, you see, for us, and I'm just talking about the foundation crew, this is how we got started. Now, we had massive belief in the industry, and we learned all about GWT, and as we went along, it's only been a short time, but we have learned, we have not slept, we have kept going, we are just running on E&E, excited and exhausted, but is that we have massive belief in ourselves to succeed. We have massive belief in our business partners to succeed. We have massive belief in our My5 and our uplines. We have belief in everybody, in our family and in our friends. So, in saying that, if you don't have belief in yourself, it's going to be a really hard road for you. So, we pour, for us here down under, we pour massive and ooze belief into our team. We offer so much support in the way of personal development. We highly recommend our LCs to increase their belief by reading or watching material like Robert Kiyosaki or Anthony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, etc. But we also, there is also the balancing side of it, the spiritual side of it. I mean, I'm a very spiritual person and energy-based person, and so I always like to share motivational material to help our LCs to sort out the normal stresses that we have in our lives by sharing, people like Preston Smiles or Alexi Panos videos to help them feel good about themselves and to inspire them. Now, to help you with the belief in the company, the industry, and in yourself, you can find the tripod of belief, which is located in lgwt.com, or, just recently, Lior has done an amazing webinar. I think it's a 7-part series of the tripod of belief, and I really, really recommend everybody subscribe to Lior Scala on YouTube and get your head wrapped around belief, because that is really, really important that you have that. Number 3, where are we? Okay, so number 3, duplicate the processes and systems already in place. What does that mean? So think about it. Why is Ramin, why is Reza, Renee, Lior so successful? Think about it. It's because they believe in the company, they believe in the industry, they believe in themselves, and what they've done is they've created our processes and our systems for us to duplicate. When I'm talking about processes and systems, I'm talking about tools. I'm talking about things that will help you to grow without you reinventing the wheel. So for me, my tip, to everybody here in our team, in order for us to go from 0 to 300, it was all about teaching our LCs to not make it any harder for themselves, So don't go and reinvent, the fairy mosh ring when the fairy mosh ring is already created. There's no point. It's already created. Learn from the best and duplicate exactly what they do and what they did. So duplicate the tools already provided and make it simple. And you know what the other side of it too is, have fun, have fun, have a laugh. It's not hard unless you make it hard. So think about this, think of this to yourself. Does Lior ever look stressed? Ever? Have you ever seen Lior stressed? Never. You never see him stressed. So duplicate what is already in place, the tools, the processes, and the systems to get you started, all right? So duplicate, 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 and make it simple. And that's what we teach our team, and this is what, everybody around the globe should be doing, is duplicate the systems already in place. And the final point number 4, lucky last, number 4, is the fast start training. So, you got to get your fairy shoes on and start sprinting. Hey, I don't know if you have not seen the fast start training, you need to see the fast start training. If you haven't seen the fast start training and you've brought people in, you want to show them the fast start training. This webinar, there is a link there that can be found on Launchpad, and this webinar, there is the fast start training webinar, which is held every week, same time, same place. For us, it is here in Perth. It's on Wednesdays at 9:15 a.m. So wherever you are around the world, if you have a look, get registered, and remember to put in your time zone so that you get the email for you to be able to log in to watch that fast start training. I mean, the Launchpad is the way to get you to where you want to be quickly, right? So that's how I became the first Ambassador Challenger winner for Australia. The first ambassador for Australia is because I followed the tools. I duplicated what the processes were. I learned and I listened to my My5. I asked them, I pounded them with tons of questions and tons of questions. And that's because I had my eyes set on the prize. It was the fast start training, and the thought of winning up to 22K in 30 days, it appealed to me. Why? Because I borrowed my $3,000 from my mum, and I promised her I promised her that I was going to crack that 22K in 30 days. And that was my promise, and that was my target. And I needed to get there. And I stayed laser focused on that target, and I hit that target. And, you know, so the launch pad is exactly where I started. And now, you know, with all of the above that I've just spoken to you about, I've never once looked back. Like I've reflected and be able to pull out some really amazing success stories out of it. But you know, it wasn't easy. It was hard. You know, I'm a full-time mother of two. At the time, my husband was made redundant within 4 months from 2 different jobs. And you know, it was an extremely hard time of the year for us because we weren't in a good position. But you know, because I had my why, I had my laser focus on, and what I did love the most though is that, you know, this is moving into the My 5. They told me that, you know, it's okay to make mistakes. So in your first 30 days, you know, you want to make a crap load of mistakes. Why? Because you'll learn from them. It's the way you grow, you know. So you've got to remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. You have an amazing My 5 to help, guide, and support you to fix up the issues, you know, fix up these mistakes. You know, one thing is that you don't want to make the same mistake 10 times over and not learn from it. It doesn't make sense. You're going to pretty much stay in that same spot forever. So, you know, get out there, give yourself a pat on the back if you make a mistake, and just move on and learn from it, you know. So I mean, for me, I wanted to where am I? Sorry. Okay, so for me, I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to, what do you call it? I wanted to let you know that our business is exciting, you know, so be excited. Have a positive attitude, you know. Positive attitude gives gratitude, you know, or the other way around. But, you know, for me, just get excited. It's an amazing ride. Ride the wave and don't fall off. But, you know, if you do fall off, you know, your upline are here to help you get up on that board again, you know. So for me, it's like down here in Australia, that is the reason why we went, that's what I think the reason is. I'm sure that there are 1,000 reasons why we went from 0 to 300 LCs in 140 days. These are, you know, what I think are the most important things that I got out of in my first 140 days of being in global wealth trade. And I really, really do hope that, you know, you got a lot out of this webinar, and I hope that you take a lot and you share this with your team and with, you know, especially your team, you know, because you've got a lot of people that are going to be coming in the very near future, and we want to set them up with the right processes and duplicate the processes, duplicate the tools. So if this, you know, if you enjoyed this training, I want to say, you know, thank you, because you know what, that's it for me. So thank you again for having me on the webinar today. And thank you. I want to give massive thank yous and gratitudes to Renata and Sanaz for gifting us this amazing vehicle. And, you know, again, thank you to my 5, especially Reza, Renee, Sherry, Lior, and Ronan for the unconditional support that they've provided us in the last 140 days. And, you know, and big, huge props to all of the RAs and NAs all around the globe, helping and assisting our team here down under with impeccable training, and all of the advice and knowledge and support. You know, we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for every leader around helping us to grow and develop and open up new markets all around the world. So, you know, thank you My final thank yous are to our ever-growing team and those that are coming aboard. Thank you so much for joining us on this epic ride. I know you're not going to be disappointed. We are full of energy. We are full of life. We are willing to give support and help wherever we need. And for me, if you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up on Facebook. You want to catch up on Skype, whatever. Contact me. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So thank you so much, everybody. And back to you, Sarah.
All right. Thank you so much, Stacey. That was so amazing. We have comments pouring in, so I'll go through that in a second. But yeah, I remember asking you for your bio probably last week or a week and a half ago. And those numbers that I gave, like when I introduced you, are totally out of date because, your team has grown in that time by so much already. So awesome, awesome. I'm going to go through the comments. If you have any questions for Stacey tonight, please make sure you type them in the question box and we'll get to them as we go along. So we've got Ambassador Brian Arundale saying, excellent job, Stacey. Also, Janet Cooper, thank you, Stacey. Great presentation. Just signed up my brother, and Ronan is on my 5. We have Regional Ambassador Jeanette Beaver saying, awesome training. Reza Mazgarlu says, amazing training. Hope everyone took notes because I did. And remember, all these trainings every Tuesday and every Wednesday night on the webinar, even though you may have heard it before, but coming from a different person or a different presenter is going to give you, probably different tidbits. So definitely these events are not to be missed. We've got Teresa Callisti saying, excellent training. Thank you, Ambassador Stacey. And Janet following up with great energy. Love it. We've got our retail queen, Daisy, saying, dear Stacey, that was a most amazing training. Congratulations. I loved it. And besides the fact that it was most informative, your delivery was excellent. Thank you. You rock. We've got Tim out in Calgary saying, wow, Stacey, love that energy. Excellent training. Very motivational. Marshall from Minnesota saying, Stacey, you are a beast. Thank you for this awesome training. Jessica Vine, how are you so amazing? And also Anne and McLean Marie saying, wonderful, Stacey, amazing training. Michelle saying, so awesome, thank you. And you kept it simple, but I felt it really spoke to me. Of course, we've got Ambassador Ronan Chiffon saying, Stacey, you are amazing. Helia Pierre saying, great training, Stacey. Renee, National Ambassador Renee Liao saying, awesome, awesome, awesome training. You rocked it, and I loved it. Learned lots. Kerwin says, this was amazing. Could be the turning point for my business. And, let's see. Katia says, very inspirational. I had a business for 9 days now, and all I have been seeing is incredible support. Stacey, you are such an inspiration. And, of course, Renee follows up with, you go, girl. Wow, awesome, awesome. Thank you once again, Stacey. That was so amazing. Couldn't tell that, you're brand new to the business. You have so much energy. And, I always love hearing from you. Yeah, so awesome. Now we're going to go and shift over, let's see, to our announcements. All right. Okay, so our usual announcements, definitely we want to promote next, right? Always promote the next event, and that's why, I have these announcements, and, GWT family has announcements all the time. Make sure you subscribe to Global Wealth Trade. corporate page as well, because their announcements come out as well. So if you are in Toronto, you definitely don't want to miss every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. in Richmond Hill. We've got the tax strategy seminar, learning how to maximize your tax savings by getting back $3,000 and $9,000 every year annually. And if you had a way to save on your taxes or or maximize your tax return, would you not want to share that with people? It's an amazing thing, right? So we've got these sessions set up every Monday where you as an LC can learn how you can maximize your tax savings by simple bookkeeping. But if you introduce your guests to this webinar, they might just ask you, wow, I think I need a home-based business strategy. Do you have one? So why not? Kill two birds with one stone. I know tomorrow night at the tax strategy seminar, we've got diplomat Robert Watterson, who is going to be presenting, and he is super, super qualified, to do this tax seminar, so you don't want to miss it. It's $5 per person. It is also, we will be live broadcasting it on the webinar as well, so we'll be sharing that link later. But if you have your $40 monthly pass to the Independent Training Center, then all these special events are included. Okay, so great, great value. Also, every Wednesday, we've got the Toronto Weekly Tour. Also, guests are free, but luxury consultants, $10 for a day pass, but if you have that monthly pass, it is included. So definitely get on out there. And for next month, definitely make sure you get this ticket because it's red hot. It is flying off the shelves. It is the Product Development and Innovation Conference. So October 16th, Friday, is actually the grand tour night. So LCs are $10, guests are free, and this is happening at the Sheraton Parkway Hotel in Richmond Hill. So make sure you bring your guests out for that. But the following day, Saturday, October 17th, we've got our Senior VP of Product Development herself, Sanaz Human, is going to be doing training, live training. And what do we expect to get from this? Well, we've got new product releases, social media releases, new website updates, live training, and much, much more. And it's only $40 in your back office. Get the ticket now, okay? And of course, next year, we've got the 10th Annual International Convention, April 7th to 9th. We're holding it at the International Plaza Hotel in Toronto. Make sure you get that early bird ticket, okay? $139 gets you a live fashion show that you can invite your guests, all right? Training and releases, as well as the gala dinner, and awards, all for the extremely high value price of $139. So you definitely want to get it because coming to these major events will, propel your team for, momentum and growth. And I know plenty of Aussies who have to fly over 30 hours are going to be coming to this event. So, if it doesn't take you 30 hours, you have no excuse at all. You have to be there. So get that ticket from your back office. So our next, as Tracy said, we've got our Tuesday night Fast Start training webinar, which helped her and her team, gain traction in this business very quickly. So once again, we're going through the Launchpad in first 30 days. Our trainer will be one of the people that Stacey had mentioned, diplomat Brooke Boston Reeves from Perth, Australia. So she's going to lead this training for the Launchpad in first 30 days. So it is happening on Tuesday, September 22nd at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. That is Toronto time. And I will be blasting out the link as well. But for next Sunday, the Sunday night leadership training webinar, we are going through the GWT success stories with our amazing regional ambassador, Leor Scaler. And that will be happening on Sunday, September 27th at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is Toronto time. And I will be sending out that link as well. So just one last look to see if we have any unanswered questions. Nope, I think that pretty much does it for us tonight. Well, thank you so much, world, for joining us tonight, and thank you so much, Stacey, for taking your time to giving us, amazing training, and also, sharing some of the tips that that gave you success in these 4 months. So, all right, thank you so much, and have a good night, everyone.